something that just lets you deploy and host websites very easily. It already has continuous integration and continuous deployment set up. So we'll be linking this to your GitHub accounts. And then once you make changes in a branch and you open up pull requests and all that, it will just kind of do exactly what you want it to do, which kind of blew my mind as I was figuring this out earlier this week. This is, I'll stop hyping it up and we'll just get into it. So essentially what we're going to do today. So assuming everybody has this slideshow open up, you'll pick one of these starter templates. Then we're going to go, and I'll get into this. You don't have to worry about clicking all these links right now, but we're going to fork one of the templates into our own GitHub accounts. Then we're all going to sign up for Gatsby Cloud with our GitHub account and then add a new site on Gatsby Cloud. And it, as I said, it's truly that simple. So this is the part where we're all going to start following along. So I'm going to go click on one of these starter templates. And there are many. Actually, in this next slide is where I linked a few different ones that I would recommend. We have, I see people joining the thing. So we said we have 7 people here, as well as Nicole on the call. So, yeah. So there's one that is a portfolio layout, and I'll show kind of what that looks like. This one is, it's colorful, it's bubbly, it's pretty. It does though rely on a UI library that's outside of the repo that we're going to be like forking into our own GitHub accounts. And so it'll be a little bit harder to modify the look and feel of it, as well as more like complexities in the layout. But this essentially gives you 4 different sections that you can just customize as you see fit. And it gives you different project cards that you can use out the gates, shows you an about section. And this one uses Markdown, which is pretty easy, just like text editing. And so if you want something that's gonna like look pretty out the gates and you'll just like update the text that shows up on the website, this will be a good choice. There's also a blank template, which is truly, as it describes, it's a hello world one. So this is going to give you essentially nothing. And I think that this one uses React. Yeah, dependencies React. And so this one, if you want to modify things using more like HTML and CSS, this one will be a good choice for you. But this one will also mean that you have a lot of work up front to just like get this to look kind of decent. Otherwise, if you're comfortable with just like having text on a website and like your website ends up just being like an online resume, this will be a good choice for that. The third one I picked is a blog, just for fun, because this one also has a handful more dependencies. I haven't actually tried launching this one, and so what I found with this one with dependencies, there's a step when we're deploying it that it asks for some information, and you're able just to kind of like put some garbage, and it didn't really matter. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but so I'm thinking most of us will probably do this one. And so, okay, it looks like everybody's here. So once you pick one, what you're going to do is click this GitHub source thing. I think I have a slide for this. Make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. So I wanted to talk a little bit about cloning versus forking a repo. And this is a big slide. This does not follow our 5x5 rule. This is mostly for you guys to look back at as a resource if you want to know the difference. But in short, I described cloning and forking in an analogy with like Google Docs. So when we visit the like GitHub source for this template, so this template is open source, meaning that somebody said, I made this so other people can use it. And like, that's the whole idea. I want other people to use this, and I'm just doing this for the good of humanity. And so right now this repo exists inside this person's GitHub, like they own it. But what we're going to do is we're going to fork it. And that's like us saying on Google Docs, I want to make a copy of this, versus just cloning it would mean that I would come here. And if you've used GitHub before, this is where you clone it and you're able to pull this down onto your local machine and like make your edits locally and stuff. But if we were to just clone this repo that belongs to somebody else, then we wouldn't have any ownership over this. And if we made changes to it and like tried to push it up to this would affect everybody else who looks at this repo. And that's just simply not what we want. What we're going to do is fork it, and then it will make an entire copy that belongs to us and like exists outside of the original owner's repository. So what we're going to do, Gatsby starter, going to pick one, go to the source. As I mentioned, that once you pick one of those, this little button with the little GitHub icon, go to the source, and then you're going to click fork up here in the upper right-hand corner. Am I already too far ahead for anybody? How are we doing in the room?
How are you guys all? You guys keeping up?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so we're going to fork. Oh, I've already forked this. Whatever. That's annoying. Tell you what, I'm going to do the blog one because I said that I hadn't done that. And then we'll just see how that goes. So I'm going to do the blog. 1,000 people have forked this. So you're probably going to want to pick your personal account. I have like other organizations that I'm a part of. You might have a shilling one too, depending on what grade you guys are in. So I'm going to pick my personal account. This will just fork it. As you can see in this upper left-hand corner, now this is under my personal GitHub. I essentially own this now. And so to add one more comment about open source stuff, I think if I were to try to make money off of what I'm about to do, that would be like out of pocket, inappropriate, not cool, but I'm not going to do that. This is just going to be for funsies. And so this is all good and fun. So once you have forked the repo, so like now, once you click that fork button, click your account, this is done. Like we have forked it and now I own this, kind of. So now we'll clone it locally and you can use whatever method you want. Again, making sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. Fork it. Now is actually a good point to rename the template if you would like, because it probably has some kind of Garbo generic name. And what you name it here will affect the public URL that you end up using when we deploy it. So it could be worth putting like Sabrina Stangler blog. Sure. And maybe I'll be lucky enough that I get Sabrina Stangler blog.gatsbyjs.cloud or something like that. Okay. So next, we actually don't even need to clone this locally yet. Now that it exists in our GitHub, we can move right along to the Gatsby cloud step and just get this up and running, and then we'll make changes in the coming steps. So clone the repo, whatever. That was a misstep. So now you're going to create a Gatsby cloud account. I would recommend you sign in with GitHub. I didn't, and things were still fine. I just connected it to GitHub later. So I'll leave this up here because this will show kind of what you should click throughout the way. I mean, you guys are smart people. You probably could have figured it out, but I'll pause here until everyone has made a Gatsby cloud account. Okay, and then once you are all signed in, you should end up on a page kind of like this, except for yours won't have any sites on it yet.
Yeah, just let me know when you guys have an account and logged in.
Oh, where did you guys get bagels from?
Just from Metro Market, but they're pretty good, in my opinion.
Nice. Man,
I to go somewhere better, like Einstein Bagel or something.
yeah. Toward the end of maybe like my junior year, we started getting Einstein bagels before every finals. And that was a sweet tradition to add some joy into the week.
I'm gonna start doing that. I don't think I've ever had Einstein Bagels.
They're pretty good, but they're schmear. Do they have schmear? Or is that a different? I don't know. Now I'm like lactose intolerant and in like a stupid way, where I like can't even eat cream cheese. And it's just pathetic.
What do you mean in a stupid way?
In like a yeah, in like I used to be able to eat some cheese and I could like eat like a lactose pill that would like offset the effects. Or I could like have some cheese and just get like a little bit of discomfort. But now I like a few years ago I ate some pasta with cheese on it and then proceeded to vomit for like an hour. And then I tried it again the next day and the same thing happened. And I was like, my body has given up. Fresh out of lactase to digest this. So,
maybe you built it up after 2 years and you can try again.
yeah, I've been like eating nibbles here and there, but it's like, it's nasty the way my tummy feels. But anyway, this isn't about my bodily shortcomings. Yeah, it is. Go eat cream cheese because I can't. That's what it's about.
I got you. All right,
Okay.
you guys made the account? You guys are all logged in?
Is there an issue if we accidentally chose professional plan?
Do you pay money?
I don't
No.
know.
I told me that
It defaults you to a professional trial plan, and so it'll just kick you down to free afterwards. It'll go
Good.
fine. It's only a problem if you create a bunch of sites because it only lets you, I think, have one on your personal in the first or like on the free plan. But it'll start yelling at you in 14 days.
Okay, good to know.
All right. I think
So
we're
it
ready to
sounds
move on.
like everyone made it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna add a new site. And you're gonna import it from a Git repository and then choose GitHub. I will also do this here. So we're gonna add a site. We're gonna import from a Git repository. Next, get out of here. We're gonna choose GitHub. At this point, if you didn't sign in with GitHub, it will probably ask you to like authenticate those. I'm already here, so hopefully it's got Sabrina Stangler blog. Wow. Oh my God, I didn't even notice this. You can change the site name right here. This is excellent. Okay. Well, Sabrina Stangler blog, I'll make it super cool blog. Okay, next. This is a dub. Wow. Okay, this will give you the option for integrations. Who cares? Skip this step. Not important to us. Environment variables, depending on which starter template you picked, like if you picked this Kara, Leco Arts, blah, 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 this will probably ask you for a contentful environment variable. I just put like garbage, like I think I put pee pee poo poo just for fun and had no negative effects. So do as you please with that. I think that you can just ignore it and then you create the site, and that's, now we'll get into a page where, so this is within my account for this particular website and shows you the builds. Now in here, like when you make a pull request, you'll get deploy previews, which is just, wow. I mean, I probably got some slides talking about this. Yeah, so pick your repo, ignore everything else. And basically boom, like that is it. Like I said, within the first 30 minutes, like once this build is done, we will all have websites. And so like Gatsby.io. We'll wait till the build finishes. Did I do the book? Okay, this is good to know that the blog template didn't require any environment variables too. So that's mostly a me lucking out that the one that I didn't try launching didn't have any weird things showing up.
Sabrina, do we want to walk them through cloning this onto their local machine while the
Oh,
builds
yeah.
go? Because they can take like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll also, while we're here, talk about, as we were mentioning, like the difference in the different Gatsby cloud offerings. So for free, you're limited to 500 builds a month. This page will link you to their pricing page where you can get more details about the limitations of the free account. But essentially, this was the only one that stuck out to me as like an issue. So 500 builds a month means that like every time that you merge to master, you will get a build. Every time you create a PR and then have subsequent like commits to that PR, you will get a new build. And so even still, 500 is a lot for one website. That's a ton. Like I really doubt that you would hit that. But I would recommend still like do as much work as you can in a branch then without creating a PR. So like create a branch from master so that you're working outside of master and not making any builds every time you commit there. But then create a PR when you absolutely need to and should be able to milk those builds until the very end. So on 500 builds a month still, like a month. So like every new month you get another 500 builds. That's a ton.
I was gonna say, if anybody manages to do 500 meaningful builds in a month, send me an email and I'll give you a prize. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we just launched a website. So now we'll go through, as Nick said, modifying the portfolio. So so I didn't do the cloning stuff in here, but so in order to clone things locally, if you clone things locally before, it's going to be no different than that. But if you have not, we will walk through it right now. So if you go back to your GitHub where you forked this repo, so make sure that you're in the one that says your name over here. What you're going to do is just do this little code drop down here. It's another window with lots of text on it. If you've already set up an SSH key with your GitHub account, you can use SSH. If not, you can use HTTPS. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to use SSH just because I have an SSH key. And then what you'll do is I'm going to show us doing this through just the command line. If you have a Git client that you're used to using, feel free to use that. But that is not my jam. So I'm just going to do it in a terminal here. So if you're on Windows, this would be called command line. You can find that by going to your Windows key and then just typing command line or CMD, and that'll show up. And I'm going to add a new tab here just to make things clean. And okay, so I'm in now a folder that I want to clone stuff into. If you've never cloned a repo before, I would recommend making a folder at, it doesn't really matter, just somewhere where you'll remember it. Probably not documents. Wouldn't recommend that, but I think Windows has defaulted me to the documents folder more than I can count. So probably not there. On your desktop is honestly even fine. But so what you're going to do is type git clone, and then over here you should copy whatever URL you get, whether it's HTTPS or SSH, or if you use GitHub CLI, I've never tried that. But you'll do git clone space and then paste that URL and hit enter. Sometimes Control V or Command V or whatever you're using doesn't work in terminals. In that case, there's almost always the opportunity to right-click paste. But
well, you can also do shift insert.
oh, no way.
Yeah.
Shift insert? I don't even know if I have an insert key. It's got like a tiny little.
Yeah, nice Mac.
Yeah, nice Mac. Yeah, man, I've been converted. Macs are pretty nice.
Yeah, that's fair. I had one for work and yeah, it was There's pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, stuff just works, and that's kind of all I can say about it. Like all the issues I have on Windows, I just don't have those anymore.
Well, Visual Studio doesn't really work on Mac.
But I don't really want to use Visual Studio, so
I don't either, but if I'm getting paid to.
yeah, that's true. Okay, how's everybody doing with cloning? Does everybody have a repo cloned? Or does anybody not, I should say?
I don't remember your guys' names. How you doing?
Oh, maybe it's worth mentioning. We mentioned installing Git as like a prerequisite of the workshop. If you don't have Git installed, this won't work. I'm gonna close some of these tabs.
Anyone else need help? Yeah, I don't know if I did it right. Follow the common from the website and it brought me here. The app. Okay. In file. It's not. So very huge. I'll get that insurance plate. Oh, nice. Yeah, so you got it. It's downloaded now. You've got it. Oh, that's all I had to do. That's the full way up. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Nick, do you need Alexa help?
Hey Nick, do you know how to clone a repository? Yeah, I think we're good now.
Okay. Like I said, no troops left behind right now. So okay. So now is when the slide becomes relevant. So you're going to open the project folder that you just created in a code editor of your choice. I'm going to be using VS Code. If you have something like IntelliJ or WebStorm, I think those will be just as good. Or I don't know, even text editors like Sublime, if you're into that. But so VS Code, so I'm just gonna go open it. So I have like a Git folder. I made another folder for all this stuff. There's my blog. So I'm gonna open it here. And then I'm gonna run the project so that we can see the changes as we make them. So this is kind of a little back and forth. Sorry that I'm bouncing around, but now that you've cloned it, if you're using a terminal like me, make sure that you change directories, which is CD, into the directory you just cloned. It won't automatically do that. So now I know it's called Sabrina Stangler blog. So now you're here, and we're going to use the Gatsby CLI to run this. And so you will first have to globally install that. This is why we need node and npm, because you'll be installing that through npm. So that's simply npm I, which is just short for install, -g, short for globally, and then Gatsby -CLI. So I have already done that. I think if I try to do it again, it'll just say like, you don't need to do that. You already got it. Well, I guess I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
Sure. Changed.
Oh, use sudo and then say that, and then do the event.
Use sudo.
And then sudo. And oh wait, you missed the X symbol. Maybe it wasn't that, so look at. Oh. got it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I opened it in Consolidated, and I used the Gatsby-CLI and command. Looks like you got it now. Yep, you good. You didn't have my is, I mean, it's a global solid, it's SG, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so it installs that everywhere. Yeah, that's yep. So now I'm so the next thing we do is this. The next thing that we're trying to do is get CD, or use CD. So CD is changed to a space. And then video project still gonna be the intelligent project? Yeah. It is, yeah, I can find it. I think we use it. And say, like anything around. And then see if it is gonna. Oh yeah, so now, yeah, so that's it. Well, let me show you something. So let me know that you can see it. Oh, yeah, so there's CD documents. You want to hit tab. It's not capitalized.
Nicole.
Yeah, so I need help. How do you
That's good.
install NPM onto or have NPM work on VS Code?
There you go.
Do you have so I assume you installed Node as well?
Yeah.
So I believe NPM just gets installed with Node.
Did I not?
But maybe is NPM are you trying to do the Gatsby CLI thing and it's not working?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
saying
shoot.
NPM isn't a command. I might not have.
Did you install Node in the same terminal session that you're now currently trying to run NPM in?
No. Oh crap. Do I need to restart my computer?
Well, you probably don't need to restart your computer, but you might need to restart VS Code because it doesn't always pick up the new command. When you install a new command, it doesn't necessarily register it in the global path for the session that you're in. So you might have to restart VS Code.
Okay. We'll try that.
Well,
I always forget you can do terminal sessions in here.
yeah, I have the so
Boom. Wow.
this is new install to VS Code that I open after just close the window.
And then I would just go around PowerShell.
You got it working? All good? Great.
All right. We have all installed Gatsby CLI.
Excellent. Okay, then the
Quick
next
question.
step is Nicole, what's up?
I was about to say, I don't think I have still. Hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh my bad.
I don't know why. Because I checked on my Windows terminal if I have the version for Node
Mhm.
and NPM.
I tried that.
Got something back. But when I
Okay.
do it within the Visual Studio terminal, it doesn't work.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's- wait,
so
it's not
what
Visual
happens if you?
But your command line?
Yeah, hold on. Here, let me share my screen.
Shoot, that's crazy.
Perfect.
I was about to say, because when I do node-v and npm-v, I get versions back. But when I do node v in here, it's like node is not a recognized command.
That's definitely why.
So maybe it's just using a different shell.
We can just move it to receive that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. If you look right at the top of your shell in VS Code, it's using PowerShell, not Shell, which is a different environment.
Ah.
And I don't know Windows enough to know how to convince it to do the other one. So I don't know how to fix that for you, other than to say, like, I don't know, run your commands not in VS Code, or it might be a setting in VS Code as well.
No, in the top right of the command line in VS Code, there's a little drop down with a plus on it.
Oh.
You can choose your. Looks like you can choose your shell from there.
In the drop
Oh,
down
yeah,
by
if
the
you click
plus.
the
Yeah, the
little
drop
drop
down.
down next to the plus.
Oh,
Command
Yeah,
prompt.
command
Fuck
prompt.
yeah.
solid.
Portfolio.
Dash G dash Gatsby dash Clyde. Hey,
Oh, let's go.
yeah.
Okay. Do I have to reshare my screen? Looks like it.
Sorry.
Oh, no. This is good. This is a fun advantage of you being on your laptop and also in the meeting. You get to do this.
Yeah, we wait for the next step then if you have.
Okay, so you guys can see my screen again, yeah?
Wait 1 second.
That worked. I did that.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So then now it sounds like everyone besides Nicole, and Nicole's in progress, has Gatsby CLI. So now you'll just type Gatsby develop. No. Oh, we have to do npm install first. Maybe if you did the hello world one, there might not be many dependencies to install, but
Oh, that's gonna be big.
yeah. So npm install is usually something you have to do when you clone a new repo because there's usually dependencies. And I forgot. I'm gonna go update my slides right now, live and on the spot. What funky formatting? Oh, it's because it's in the wrong font. Whatever. npm. Good thing I had plenty of time while npm installs. I don't think I mentioned what npm even does or is. So npm stands for Node Package Manager, and that's because Node is like I tried to Google what Node means. Node is essentially something I've been able to just rely on always working and like not having to really worry about the specifics of what it does. But in short, it enables web development. Nick, feel free to jump in and say more about it. But
Node is a JavaScript runtime for desktops so that it doesn't run in a browser. So it's similar to MSOE teaches Java, I think, still. So it's similar to JRE, except for JavaScript instead of Java.
okay. So then npm Node Package Manager. So similar to Java, when you have things at the top that you import, like whatever it is, those imports that let you use different packages. Maybe there's a different word for it in Java, but that let you use different things in your Java code. npm is kind of how you manage that for JavaScript applications. And so,
And the Java world equivalent, I believe, is Maven. I don't know if
sure,
when you would learn Maven at MSOE right now, but
I never did.
npm is JavaScript's Maven.
Yeah,
And so sorry.
we use Maven in software tools and practices for Google Maps and other stuff.
Fun.
Cool.
I don't even remember what it does.
Probably don't remember it, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It just your packages.
Yeah. I mean, like maybe the not like taking my professional hat off. Like I kind of just have to don't worry about it most of the time. And it just does what I need it to do. And I can Google different npm things to do, which is good. But like putting my professional hat back on, it's a useful thing. And it was probably fun to learn how to use at one point before I promptly forgot it. So, okay, so anyways, npm install, it says it added packages. If it says that you have vulnerabilities, probably unimportant. So now we will do Gatsby develop, and this ought to work. Wow, look at all that success. Pat myself on the back right now. Okay, cool. So now this is available at localhost 8000, HTTP, not HTTPS. And boom. And so if you guys were looking at my screen earlier, you would have also seen that, where'd it go? That now my build finished on Gatsby Cloud. So now we can see this at my Sabrina Stangler Super Cool blog, as well as locally on my own machine here. So, oh, it's right there. So now that we have this running, we can make some changes. So now you're gonna wanna go back to whatever code editor that you have. And well, perhaps before we make any changes, we ought to check out a branch to work on so that we can go through the whole workflow that I'm recommending we use, which is just to make a branch, and then that'll let you do the PRs with deploy previews. If you've never heard those words before, we'll get into it and I'll say what all those means. But so in order to create a new branch, so something that's like a nice sanity check if you've never used Git before, is to just do git status. That'll show you what branch you're currently on, any changes you've made. This makes sense we've done this because we just ran npm install. And so what we're going to do is check out a new branch. So you'll do git checkout and then space -b. -b just says like from the branch that I'm currently on, like I want to check out a new branch from this. And we'll call it like first change. This needs to be like a continuous string. You can't have any spaces in it. So hyphens, underscores, whatever you want to do. So now if I do git status again, we can see those changes came with us into this kind of new branch. And now this will mean that we can make these changes without triggering a new build on Gatsby Cloud quite yet. And then we'll be able to merge this in master, which is nice Git practices. You don't usually want to commit straight to master. That's like your protected main branch. You want to be intentional about that. So back to our code editor. I haven't even opened this in here yet. Oh no, yes I did. It's just still on the welcome thing.
Can we slow down?
Wait,
Mine's
can we
still
take a
like
second?
installing it.
Yeah.
We're still updating.
Okay.
Your internet's too fast, Sabrina.
Too speedy. I'm the only one here. I got both my little connection points to myself.
Your cat's not sitting on your router, Sabrina.
I'm getting an error code when I'm doing Gatsby develop.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, really?
I think it's because I think we have to run the command line as administrator because we don't have sudo. I'd imagine that's what it is.
Well, you know,
So real quick, try running, and I'll put the command in chat. npm.
Good.
Try running that, because that may allow it to use the local version of Gatsby develop, or the Gatsby CLI instead of the global version, which wasn't installed with sudo. That may or may not work.
Oh, I just saw Bailey Franklin joined. You might have missed a step. So Bailey, are you on the Teams call? Oh, I see now. It puts your little icon in the bottom right. So there is a resources document I linked above, Bailey. I'm gonna paste it again because you might not be able to see the chat history. So in there's a link to the slideshow that I'm currently on, and that will start walking you through some of the steps here. You can start at the place where it says, here's where to start following along. I know it's kind of a vague answer to, I might have missed a step. Okay. Oh, you're having the same Gatsby error. Okay, cool. Has that npm run develop worked for anybody?
No.
I think npm run start might also
It could be
do the
because
same thing.
I'm not installed too. It's really JS.
I didn't.
I can't see this.
Huh.
What for you? Did you run it in like command line or
Running it in a git bash inside VS Code.
in git bash inside VS Code?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, if it works, it works, I guess.
Yeah. Has anyone tried closing your command prompt and then when you open it again, like right click it and run as administrator and seeing if that makes a difference?
Or throw sudo in front of your Gatsby develop command.
Yeah.
Or both.
They were on Windows machines.
Yeah, I should have tried this on my MSOE laptop. Pulled it out of the archives.
So I ran the develop thing, and now it's stuck at the success writing page data.json.
That's
That was
fine.
the public directory.
We've got one more in here stuck there as well.
So
Okay.
the Gatsby develop command doesn't terminate. It just continues running.
Do I have to
Because
control
it's-
C?
If you want to close it, yes. But basically what that does is it leaves a web server up and running until you control C. So that makes it so you can go find it at localhost 8000.
Oh, so now that it's done, I can open up the local host.
Right. And so if you leave it running, anytime you make a change to one of the files, it'll automatically reload in your browser, so you don't have to hit refresh.
Oh, solid. Okay. I thought there was supposed to be an end to it.
Nope.
Yeah, basically your development workflow will be to leave this running and make changes to your code, and then errors like syntax errors will get spit out into this at the bottom of that command as it discovers them.
Which way do you guys usually?
Oh. 1 second.
It's not good.
Yeah, I'll mute.
No, you're good. You can unmute.
What?
How do you guys use?
Hey,
Paul, you just cut out.
wait,
Like
go
that
ahead.
whole question.
Try again.
Oh, just like I'm trying to wonder like how to upgrade Node.
How to upgrade Node?
'Cause there's
I
a
use
couple ways, like
NVM.
NVM and stuff.
That's what I use.
Yeah, I also use NVM.
I use ASDF, which is it basically is a wrapper for NVM. So it's similar in principle, but it's ASDF you can use to do version management for multiple different things. So I use it for Node, I use it for Elixir. You can use it to get different Python environments and stuff like that. But yeah, NVM works.
Yeah, so I think for NVM, you just go to this repo and clone it, and then I don't remember it being weird to install. So maybe it gives you some kind of instructions, and the like once you clone it, it's like, okay, now do this.
I already have it on Ubuntu, so I just need to run it correctly and get the right latest. Because I'm 2
Gotcha.
versions down right now, and it's not compliant with Gatsby. You need to be 2 versions up.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually have that too.
yeah, I think I am on like, I don't remember. No dash. I shouldn't be on 17. I keep doing like NVM use an earlier version and it keeps bumping it up.
I just downloaded it and it's on 16. You're good. 13. You're good then, yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
About
It's working for me on 16.4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it appears to require 14.15 or higher.
Okay. Okay, so Jonathan, I see you posted this like huge error thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna try updating. That might be a problem, or that might have caused the problem.
Okay.
Using the one package with Ubuntu.
Oh yeah, the Ubuntu system one is going to be way too old, for sure.
A what?
So Paul, Jonathan, and I all run Ubuntu, and the one that you can install default is version 10.19.
I see.
So 10 compared to 16.
It's a bit far. There's a couple between them. The versions between us. I might just open a VM at this point.
Oh, no VMs.
No VMs.
Open up a Docker.
Nah, you can.
A Docker container.
So Chris, what's going on with you?
I have to upgrade my Node version.
Okay.
Being mean.
Being mean.
Because I don't have Bash to download NVM. Oh, unless I just ran the command again and it suddenly worked. Didn't work last time because it had a self-signed certificate, but this time it doesn't care.
Excellent. Isn't like you ran Gatsby develop and you're seeing what I'm seeing?
Not yet. It's having me do some things. Oh right, I don't have Bash RC or Bash profile. Right. Oh, actually, I think it's fine.
My VM, I have an account, but I just am not using it. So I need to use NVM use.
How you guys doing over there?
Oh, we got a seg call. That's cute.
That's cute. I didn't know Dr. Schilling was here.
How well can you hear these guys?
Pretty well.
Really? Wait, what
Like,
mic?
it's pretty clear.
That's weird. What mic is it using?
It's using the ones that are on the screen.
Oh, that's cool. So we can.
So can hear you guys that well?
No, look at this.
Oh, there's a mic on top of your monitor,
Yeah.
like part of your computer. It's not like, so there's probably two microphones. There's one like on the keyboard maybe, and then there's one on top.
Yeah, microphone over here.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Wow, I
Doing
just
great job.
good tech.
Good tech. Oh, what microphone am I using? I didn't even think to check.
It's like, oh, yeah.
I've been using my headphone mics this time. Okay, now I'm using the right one. I've heard this one's better, but
I couldn't tell the difference.
well, maybe I could lie too. Well, it's on Discord.
Oh, more echo.
Usually that I hear it's
Sabrina,
better.
we need to get you some soundproofing panels. I can hear you echoing off the walls of your office.
I just put stuff up on the wall too. It should be quieter. Did you not hear the echo before?
No, I couldn't hear the echo before.
I'll go back. Okay.
Yeah, your headphone mics are less echoey. Or
Okay.
non-echoey.
None that could be.
I'm,
Is it working?
it works. I'm
Good to know.
Well, what was it again? Was the, you would get it running?
Well, I installed NVM with npm and then it told me that that's not the right NVM, so I went and installed the right one, but now it's hijacking my NVM, the command, so I can't use it. And it's not letting me uninstall NVM through npm.
Oh. Well, do you want to share your screen and we can try to figure it all out?
Yeah.
You're in Ubuntu, right?
No,
You're in Windows?
I'm Windows, yeah.
Oh.
Paul's in Ubuntu.
Paul, Jonathan, and Nick are in Ubuntu. Okay, maybe one day.
And did you install it globally?
Yeah.
Oh, it's filling, so, okay.
Oh, I think it's.
Okay, it's just black for now. Whatever you're sharing.
Is it even sharing?
I don't know, it's just a black screen. Like it shows that you're sharing, but it's just black.
Oh, it's frozen for me. Maybe because I'm
Wanna
sharing
see, like,
it to,
behind
like
you?
8 screens and a projector.
Yeah.
Oh, why did it do that?
Okay, well I see it on Teams. Like I see your screen on Teams.
All right, great. So yeah, I installed NVM using that one,
Okay.
and then, but I also really.
Yeah. So I was thinking,
You might have clicked insert.
Oh,
and that's not
it's just broken. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead.
No.
Just nuke it.
I don't think my computer likes that it's putting display on 8 screens and a projector.
Well, if you guys stop just extended for a second, life will go on.
So if you run which NVM, it should tell you where NVM is installed. And you can CD over to there and just delete the folder for NVM, and that should get rid of the package. That way you don't have to try to uninstall it through NVM.
I kill it. There we go. Let's try that again. So yeah, yeah.
You might need to either source your bash profile or restart the terminal again, because there's some path pointing to that right now.
Great. What? Okay, well, that's a new problem. I can figure that one out. I will stop sharing and put you guys back on big screens.
How is everyone else doing?
How's everyone else doing?
Mine's ready.
Got one ready.
I'm just chilling.
Nicole's just chilling.
Glad to hear.
Beautiful.
Is it just me?
Who's not a keyboard member is working right now, except for I don't know about Nicole.
Everyone that's said everyone that's not an e-board member.
Yeah.
It's just us.
Abigail's got it, so.
Abigail's got it.
So I'm not part of the
That statement was,
Bailey, how are things going for you?
That's good.
Still angry yet? Do you want to share your screen and we can try to work through it? No worries.
Anyways, did we order pizza or no? No, we just had yeast.
For this?
But
No.
I don't think pizza.
No.
I was
What's
just
that?
wondering.
It's breakfast.
I'm gonna get some coffee.
Go for it.
All right.
Hiccups.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Okay, so you said still angry. Is that like what we're seeing above that in your terminal there?
Yeah. I
Okay.
had NPM like version 6-ish, so I upgraded that and did all that stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, it's still not doing anything.
Did you close your terminal after you upgraded all that and
Yes.
reopen it?
Yep.
Okay. So which
Did you try running npm run develop?
I can try it again. Like that?
Run, yeah, there we go.
Okay, what about npm run start? That was something Matt suggested like last week, and it worked for me on one of these. Okay, same thing.
So it's looking for a package.json file and I can't find it,
No. Which it's
but it's
right
there.
So I noticed you and I think Chris or someone else who shared their screen had this in their documents folder.
Yeah.
And I like have this vague memory of just the documents folder being difficult for some reason or another. And I just wonder if it were cloned in a different folder, if it would work. Part of me is like it might just be a complete miss, but
I've never had a problem with that. I don't.
You in Windows, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Go, remember, needs to be like installed top level directory, and it didn't like being anywhere else somewhat because of the export, because of the paths.
Right.
So, I don't know. What, Jonathan, I can't get it yet, but that's okay.
Weird.
We can continue on, I think, because most people have.
yeah, I mean we'll at least get Bailey going here.
Yeah, let's get Bailey on.
There it is.
Excited.
All right.
I think you might be able to just do like cd ... twice, like cd space ... and then it'll get you.
Okay.
Because I think you did it at the base of your C drive.
Yeah.
Or maybe one more time, like cd ... once more. And then if you want to do like dir to see what's there, then cd Gatsby test.
Okay.
And then, I think since you just freshly cloned it, you might need to do npm install.
Oh.
Okay, cool. Well, cool. We got NPM existing, working, living.
This is looking better than it did the first time, so.
Good.
Did it.
If it really is this like weird documents thing, then I like, or maybe this solved some unrelated issue just by like cloning it again. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't presume to understand the way that computers work. Oh, just out of curiosity, is everybody here like a software engineering major? Is anybody computer science or like computer or some other major?
I'm computer science.
Yep, I am as well.
So much.
I'm computer.
We got 3 computer science, 1 computer engineering,
Cool.
2 software with me, and then actually another computer science over there.
Nice.
We're getting dominated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it looks like computer science, like, pretty popular, and it's really great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, supercomputer will do that.
There's more CS students than SE students, but it's balancing out a little bit. Well, like, new classes amounts.
Yeah.
Not overall, because there hasn't been.
Was this like the first year that a computer science student will graduate?
Yeah, he already did actually. Xander knew it,
Oh,
finished early, so.
what a guy.
On everybody, finished early for his CS.
The first CS graduate. Well, I guess now him and like Alex Ruckty be like the first accepted student, the first graduated student.
Yep.
My camera's over here, yeah, like them hand in hand.
They should make it first.
Yeah, direct supply really got both of them. Now it's like direct supply at MSOE all together.
We were just
Oh,
there.
you guys did yeah. How was that?
It was great. They, I learned that they have computer vision toilets.
Fun.
Apparently,
I didn't know that.
there's a lot of information you can get from poop. Like a lot.
Who would have thought?
A lot of information. I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you.
Not for us to know.
Photos of my poop and sending it to my doctor.
They sent it to a computer vision
AI.
algorithm and let it tell you.
Okay.
Do they just like look at the poop in the toilet
I don't know.
prior to the flush?
I don't know. Yeah, I think
One
so.
lady told me that they like look at your hips too, and like your hips and your poop together. Feels
Interesting.
like anyone here would sit on that.
Yeah.
Like, then she kind of explained it.
Interesting.
I was like, I would never sit on a toilet that has a camera on it. That's weird.
Yeah.
When
If
you're
someone
older.
wants to
Maybe I
look
will when
at
I'm
it,
older.
they can.
Like that's crazy. Yeah, maybe when you're older, you're just like, if you want to see it, like, who cares? Who hasn't seen it at this point? Like, you probably got doctors in your business all the time.
Binary download failed. Try and source.
Okay, so you did npm install, or you're doing npm install again.
No, my command line's just freaking out.
Okay. Do you want to try installing Gatsby globally again? Globally. Oh wait, you gotta go into the, oh yeah, I guess you can do it here too. But make sure you do -G as well in there. Gatsby -CLI, fuck yeah. I mean, heck yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Things are looking good.
I got a Windows firewall.
Nick, how are things with you?
Chris, you're talking about yourself, right?
Yeah. I got a Windows Defender firewall notification. That's new. It's a new-
Fun.
I think that means that it's working, or it's trying to.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. Oh, success. Okay,
Okay.
okay, let's go.
Okay. Now make sure you CD into your project directory. I'm on the edge of my seat.
This laptop hates me.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like it's worth mentioning while we're sitting here doing all this stuff that like if this is your first time like doing something like this, or you haven't had like an internship yet, this is super normal to just spend all this time getting your like computer and your development environment ready. Like, this happens at every job I've ever been in.
That's why I've had a bunch of suggestions right off the cuff, like just in my head for problems that people are having, because I have these problems very regularly.
Yeah. But so it looks like it was working for you, Bailey?
Yep, it's working. I'm gonna blame it on
Yes.
documents being dumb.
Stupid
Windows.
documents folder. Documents folder canceled. Never use it again. Okay. So if I'm right, everybody has their local host 8000 up and accessible, and you can see your website.
Is that true?
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Can you see it on localhost?
They all do. They all do.
They all do? Great.
They all do? Okay. Well, then we will move right along. We have done it. Okay. So again, making sure I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay. So now you're going to figure out which files you want to modify such that they show on your screen. And so if you did the portfolio one, usually what I'll do, because like all three of the templates are laid out a little bit differently, is I'll say like, okay, I can see that this has the title Gatsby Starter Blog. So to figure out what files I want to modify, I'm just going to search for that word and see where it shows up. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. So local. Okay. So like I have the blog one up, for example. So I am just going to go like see where this title shows up. And then I'll know that that's where I need to modify stuff. So in my case, this shows up in like the Gatsby config. I think, yeah, so this makes use of like the site metadata. So something that I can only very lightly get into here, and that might be a tangent, it's definitely a tangent, is that Gatsby, all these default projects will usually be integrated with like GraphQL, and that's what they use for like storing your site data. And that is basically all I can say about it. There are better like Gatsby tutorials that talk about how to use that and make use of it. But for our purposes, I will just like modify what's there. Or in the case of like the blank template or the portfolio template, that has like markdown files that you will just be able to use. So like I'll open the portfolio one to show where you'll modify stuff there. So let me make sure this is big enough. So depending on what code editor you're using, like where you're able to view the file structure, in the source folder, there is like two other folders in there. There's the pages, and then there's this really long like let go arts Gatsby theme. Like if you hover over it, you can see there's a few other folders in there as well. Then that has 4 different .mdx files, which is just essentially markdown. And so that has different about things in it. And so you can change this text here, and that should, when you hit save, it'll show up here. So I'm gonna still do the blog one. But those 4 files are what you'll do for that. So now I'll say like, now this is Sabrina's blog. My name is Sabrina Stangler. And so now if we refresh this, we should see now this says Sabrina's blog and written by Sabrina Stangler. And so that's not a super meaningful change, but I'm just going to show us now the workflow. So I want everyone in their project to make some kind of change just so that we have something to commit and like go through the like deploying process of that. So once you make a change, I'm just going to do git status here again. Depending on what kind of git UI you're using, now you're going to want to like add and commit all your changes. So I'm going to do git add all, which is that period, and then I'm going to do commit -m like first commit. So if you're new to the terminal, like git commit -m is how you add a message to that commit. You have to add a message. It is required. So that's my first commit. And then if it's your first time making a change to a new branch, you not only do git push, but you do -u origin and then the name of your branch. Okay, so then once everyone has made a commit on their new branch, we'll move on. I don't think I've ever tried using the git like the git UI in VS Code, but I bet it's nice. I'll make a second commit. Shoot, you know. Summary. Who lives in Milwaukee and has cats? Very nice. Okay, so now I'll do changes. How do I stage all changes? Yeah, stage all changes. Message for commit. Second commit.
Very professional.
Very professional. Super meaningful commit messages. Okay, and I just committed that. How do I like push it now? Oh,
I think it's our job to ask that question.
push. Would you like to code periodically run git fetch? No.
So if I wasn't doing this in the first branch, we would just give like, oh, we want to pull shit. So that I'm not unloading for on my actual set.
Well, on to like this person.
So as a reminder, if you didn't check out a branch, if you're like still on master, this is the command to run to make a new branch where first change is the name of that branch.
8.1.2. 8.1.2.
And what part of it?
16 of the 13 of the.
So that's right, so then they can put in a custom suggestion.
So if you want
I opened that. My name is Paul.
That's the one we got. Give them the one. So type in Gatsby's branch. Which is the So currently on master, so what you can do is do git checkout dash or space or space dash b and then quotes the name of the branch. So I got some branch, so you could branch from there. Do get status. That is see what you've got going on, so you can see the changes that you have made and track files. So yeah, there's a change on that file, so you get space. And that'll get them. If you gets that again, you'll see they're now stage triggered. So you can now do git commit space. So now if you get sets again, see that you got some committed and not pushed. So you say, oh, yeah. So you get first time you copy that.
I was writing, check out our new branch.
Show up.
It's like, so, show your, so like this is, it still shows it. Yes, we really do. Okay, Gatsby. It's so Gatsby. Yeah. It's linked to your website. It's linked to all of it. So absolutely. If you want to look this, you need so let's ask you again. So how do I change the login? You are
The other
as long as this is as long as this is
to create a form. Actually,
yeah.
it's a little merge that one with another.
Even though
Remember when we are like not I really have X amount of money. It's a lot. I'm going to hit it. Don't know why it's happening. Grab it all. Change it somewhere else and then get back and transfer it out.
anyone request here?
I haven't done.
Okay, I'll look at it.
I don't do it.
So request that we can.
It's very
So that is.
where are we? So I think you're yes. Everything all the changes that you made are now on your repository.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to go to there.
Oh, you said error somewhere.
So you're on that. You change branches.
Oh, then I
yeah.
and then again. So
Oh, yeah, there you go, first branch. So you go to and see
is it like still?
those changes.
We'll just.
So yeah, everything. And then there's also a bunch of.
Is it not
And then also certified were made. Why using a is recommended. Oh, you as well. Yeah. Yeah, with Aaron Orcos and then
Yes.
there are some things
So no.
I'm checking it out.
Title, description. Now, when it's just your own,
Yeah.
you don't, like, it'll just go through right away, but when you're
That's a big
working somebody else's repository, say like at a company or at a project, usually what happens is that you need that will happen, so it's that you won't be able to Oh, so part of the bill, okay, so part of the pull request automatic is to maybe go to Gatsby. So eventually, once that completes, they can be able to pull it. Which you can do.
Okay.
That and then the other option.
Yeah, Paul, you should have that, and you can add those in.
Okay, cool.
Just because I heard someone start talking about a PR. So once you make those changes and push them up and you open GitHub again, typically if you make a change recently, it'll give you this big yellow message. And this tells us exactly what we want to do. We want to make a pull request now for this branch that we just created. If you don't get this yellow message for any reason, you can just go to the pull request tab here and create a new pull request. And then it gives you all these drop downs here. Essentially, this one on the right side is going to be the branch that you just created that you want to now merge in. And so this first big drop down is the repository. So this already has selected the correct one, which is my blog. And then I want to compare this first change one. And then because we forked this repository, it defaulted to grab the original repository for the original owner of this. We want to change that to our repository. So you can see when that happens that now we just get these two smaller drop downs. So this is to say we're now working just in our repository that we have forked, that we own. And so the base is where the destination for your pull request is going to be. That is almost always going to be master. And then the one on the right side here is going to be the branch that you just created that you're making all your modifications in. So once you do that, you can see it shows my commit messages here. In this comparing changes view, this is a way that you can look at all the changes you've made thus far without actually creating a pull request. So you might find that useful in the future. But in this case, we're just going to create a pull request. And we're going to call this we'll just call it first change. Why not? How is everybody doing?
Alright, how you guys doing?
How do I make a pull request?
This is a great second. It's a great second. Sorry. Well, I woke up a little bit late. I feel amazing. It's like I didn't wake up. I think I just recovered a ton.
I accidentally did it to the actual story.
What'd you do?
I think I accidentally did it to the actual story.
No. Oh, you definitely did. Maybe. Oh, that's fine. I'm sure you have done it. So I changed it on the local server. I can bring it. Tell them to do it. And I need to send them. They don't care. So how do you do that? You create a new branch. I don't do actually.
So.
Yeah, that's one of the because it only shows up in this one. You know, and I go for requests.
Just rejected it and went away. Or
Well, because
my code's in. You got it. I just changed this intro one. Did you get Colin from you?
Okay.
I thought Colin wrote in mine.
Sure.
But-
Maybe you didn't.
No, maybe
It's
default.
I was just checking this.
Well, since we forked it. So,
Huh?
since we forked it, we
No,
now
it's
use
just-
the master. Versus the original base.
Mine didn't tell nice.
It's in review.
I did code my GitHub.
Yeah, I did as well.
Maybe I need to trigger it.
Right.
I don't know.
So if you,
Actually, run it.
Is there any way that I can like
no,
fix this shit? I feel terrible.
Can you try to
then
delete it?
on your website, or go to your page.
Like,
Yo, sorry.
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 It's on nowadays. Oh, the one, yeah. And right click the, yeah, go open up, that's all again, that's, you can do it, and that's the. and right click the first
You
one,
did it too?
And then. after
There.
that,
Oh my gosh, you did. Nice.
it's cached. Okay.
If any of those two, I don't know.
Then.
Yeah, we go down here. And think about that master.
okay, I was like, bro, I got so fucking pissed.
You're good.
And when this is done, it'll
Yeah.
redo itself.
Yeah, it's not like nukes are gonna go off. It's not like you're coding stuff for a radio. We're just making a website.
It's not like I did this on the.
Yeah, so that's just generally good practice.
It's not like
So
everyone's gonna look at
masters
this and see it.
usually
It's not like
do
I had
like
my
a
contacted.
That's just how like.
Sounds like you verify very easy.
So
So they
you
know
change
what's
that,
actually
you
you.
make up pictures and models, and bring a lot of
It's
traffic.
good.
Okay, so you create branch.
Yeah, so you create a branch, work on your feature, and that's break it down and then that's ready to go. Also, if, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to automatically build a master, but Sabrina was saying it shouldn't automatically rebuild on that, I don't know why it didn't. But in that case, then you want to have a different branch, so that you can make another branch and merge that into master, and then have one rebuild rather than a bunch of rebuilds every time you make a change.
Okay. But since I saved it here into the master, the master branch, it should just pull it straight
Cheapers.
onto the website.
Yeah, I think so. You push up the changes? You push the changes?
No, I didn't. I just hit Control S on here and changed it on the local server.
Oh, I'm so sorry, okay. So go to your command line, or on your, I don't know how to.
So I have this one with just like the directory, and this one with all the npm, the code.
Boom, directory. And then git space status. Great, yeah, so this shows all of, the files and stuff that you have changed, modifications to that, this is like the local version, and then the remote version doesn't know. The remote version is what it's gonna give up.
Okay, so I modified these three ones.
Yep.
Okay.
And then also that one didn't track. And ideally, we'd ignore a couple of files, but there's no way to. Do git add space period. Yeah. Okay, and so those ones, you get status again. Now let's see that they're green.
So I just pulled up Paul's website because he linked it in chat. You said you were testing in production.
Oh, yeah.
Periods right here. But
Got 500 free tries at that, so why not?
Yep.
Well, yeah, there's changes here, and you take the changes and then you put them in the spaceship.
Okay.
And then they're ready for committee, and then you send the spaceship off to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you do git commit,
Okay.
and then dash n, and then impulse for dash n.
What's up on the screen again too?
Oh, dash. Okay.
Sorry, and then
Thanks,
the
Sam.
message for your commit message, maybe like first change or something.
First change. Okay, and this is still the master branch.
Yeah, and then, oh, actually, wait. No, it's no new branch. It's free.
Follow-
It's free.
You can just follow the commands right there.
It is up there.
Yep.
So yeah, do that first.
Thanks, Paul.
First one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
check it out.
So I'll make a new branch, and then you just follow
For the record, you can make changes on master and then check out a branch afterwards, and those changes usually go right over. So it's not a big deal if you don't check out a new branch right away. It's a forgiving process sometimes.
Pretty much what I'm doing right now. Make a change. Okay, so now I do get that.
I used to drink it like every single day. And
Yeah.
I've gone like a month or so without it now.
Yeah.
And these are already saved.
That's crazy.
No.
Or did you finish? I finished the command. Oh, mess with the command.
No.
So do that again.
Okay, it should be.
Oh, with the.
I didn't realize I hit. Commit dash first commit. Okay.
And
Get flash dash U. Origin.
yeah.
What version do you have right now?
Give you that first time.
The first time I was on it.
Copy that. Copy that again.
Okay, it's the same one. Okay,
So it does it for everything. You can just do get flush and then copy that command.
But all the rest of them is just get much more. Maybe not too.
Nick, do we have to locally install Gatsby?
Yeah, just the first time it's gonna be annoying, say to set up stream. That's what that is.
Like, I don't mean locally, I meant, I mean within the repo, not globally, locally.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think so.
So like,
Okay.
minutes like.
It's probably in your package JSON. Like it's probably
Yeah.
Once this loads.
it probably did get installed locally. But I don't know to what. I don't know if you'll need it. That probably depends on your which example you installed.
Yeah, so I finished it. So I don't know what's going on. So that's what it means. If I create a new branch, so it's the first connection to that branch.
Okay.
And then it's set the train the track it. So
I think I'm gonna do.
So that just means so now you look at GitHub.
Recent
I
push.
can, yeah, I can go to this now. You compare it for us. Like, can you something? So you get the description and click on request.
And make sure you're not in the actual template repository.
Yes.
You just create a pull request in the template repo.
Well, I think.
I think if you create a pull request to some of these repos, they'll just like get immediately rejected.
Yeah.
That's what we
I didn't
saw.
forget. Wants to merge. Oh. Yeah, I just did what he said. Thanks. How do I remove it?
I just closed it. There's no way to like delete it from the log or anything.
Oh. Alright, so I think you just have to go back and delete that pull request. So
That's weird. It just brought it up randomly. I thought I was still in
Okay,
line.
cool.
So I go back to get. This is
Wait, because
where I wanted to send it to, but it didn't send it here.
So that's at least 3 of us that have done that now, so.
That's strange. Okay, so do I have to recreate a branch now, right?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I think someone else just did it too. Oh wait, no, that's you.
Does it show up on here?
I'm gonna put this in a new slide.
So if you go into that, oh, that sounds great.
Just be like, what are you guys doing?
Thanks for coming, Bailey. Hope you learned something.
Bye, Bailey.
Bye.
I like did a pull request and it sent it to the original one instead of the one that I forked. Yeah, but it created a new branch on here.
We just click the new branch, the pull request from there. It's like class. And then, oh, here we go, base repository, so you can change that one to yours. So,
Okay.
that's gonna run, and then you should go to hit merge pull request. Actually, I think you said merge pull request is there.
Confirm.
And then,
So now I can maybe read this.
at some point, it can take a second for Gatsby to build it, but it should have triggered a rebuild because master got updated. And that's what Gatsby.
So it should do it like soon.
Yeah. Yep, so, yeah, merge pull. Now, if you go to the, I think you click on it, it'll give you, what's going on? How to go log in. We're just gonna include.
Okay, so it's going right now.
Yep. And that should be 5. Yeah, so. Good.
How do I commit to that? I'm in here.
Oh,
Sure.
So I think you're in bed.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think you just close that.
So I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this, but I noticed when I opened a pull request, it didn't create a deploy preview in Gatsby Cloud. And that's because this is looking for the main branch. And for some reason, this went to master, and I have both master and main. But I'm going to change the base and see if that makes a difference. Oh, jeepers. Oh, jeepers. Oh, bad. That's bad. This is bad.
Okay, so Tom,
Oh, no.
master that they don't want that.
Yeah. Not that, so.
I don't actually know what to do about this. Can I make this? Oh, I can edit the production branch. Okay. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
I'll see it right away.
Okay, now I'll change this back to master, because that is our default branch.
One build ahead of. Oh.
Hey Nick, since you're online, thanks again for supporting Sweet and going to the Sweet convention. Really appreciate it. You too, Seb.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We were happy to help fund it.
For sure.
Hopefully it went well.
Oh yeah, we learned a lot. We also made some cool connections, and we're working on some things that we learned from it already.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Nice. I wonder if I need to make a different commit to this now that I.
So I can take a walk first, but.
Well, this is built.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You change it.
Yeah, the NVM was the plan.
Okay.
And actually, I got to bounce as well. I got something I got to run to. But nice work, everybody. Sabrina, excellent work. I figure you can get us across the finish line from here.
Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for stopping,
everybody.
Bye, Nick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like, I don't really know how these things. Doesn't look like the master commit. Say commit.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Let's commit it.
Oh my god.
Thanks for everything. I think I'm gonna get going too.
Okay. Bye, Nicole.
Bye. Have a nice rest of the weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Michael.
The head of you somehow, even though we don't want to making changes, so we would get full. Great. Boom. So, yeah, eventually I'm here. Should do it.
Okay. I'm just gonna use.
You need that too.
Don't date on December.
this one.
February, no March, I got this. Thank you.
So this is public.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing around with it.
Wow. Okay, if anyone, I'm not sure where the room is at, but if anyone is at the stage where you have a PR created, I'm just gonna merge mine just for fun. And then now hopefully we'll see this. I'll go visit this deploy preview. So now this has my changes. And then if I look at production right now, this should not have my changes yet.
Oh.
And it doesn't. But now I just merged it, so now it'll soon have my changes, I'm sure. Yeah, see there, it's already making a new build here.
Sabrina, did you do the pull request online on like with your browser, or did you just like do it via terminal? I didn't watch that.
I do it online on the browser.
Okay, cool. Because I merged right away, and I think it just went through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of me seeing the pull request, because I didn't create a pull request. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do another.
No, I checked.
I mean, you don't really like need to create a pull request per se. A pull request is mostly like a tool to be able to see all the changes that you've made thus far before merging them in, and having like so then you could make several commits and like a handful of different changes over any amount of time, and then be able to merge them in all at once rather than merging every time into master. And that's just kind of like I heard someone say earlier that that's just kind of like a good Git practice.
I don't know. So where do you?
Yeah.
But
I use.
But it's also your website. Do your freaking thing. You know, you're the only one working on it.
I use Netlify a lot, and so I'm used to this similar workflow, especially for the previews. And so I really want previews.
Yeah, so that got to do a PR for that.
Trying to
So
do that.
if Gatsby is tracking your master page, it should do that.
How do I know if I'm on my master page?
So you get.
You can do Git status to see what branch you're on.
I did this on masters.
Well, I did here, so.
Oh yeah.
It says. Is that where my terminal location is though, or is that where my?
Same. That's where your local copy of the repository is.
Yeah, your terminal will be representative of your local copy.
Yeah, it's on. So, yeah. Am I tracking? I'm tracking the right thing. If I go here.
Maybe you join the call, share your screen with Sabrina. She might be able to help.
Oh yeah.
She's more.
Okay, well that was the other question. I don't even think I'm in SSE. I just Paul invited me to I don't have the chat or anything. I'm just in this. I don't even know.
So it's not actually our teams. You have people on there, right? Or that you don't.
No, I haven't gotten. I literally I got in here yesterday and I'm done.
Right.
Chris, I'm forwarding him the invite right now. So have him hit his calendar in Teams in a moment. Chris.
Yeah, but there's also from Dr. Taylor who forwarded the workshop to everybody.
I'm not in anything. I literally Snapchat them all weird. And so like he only sent me the.
Oh no, you're a C. That's right. So you would have gotten that.
Oh, got it. Can I be in SSE?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anybody interested in software engineering? Yeah.
Okay, so what do I go from here? Oh, so the chat is first. Is the SE chat or is the SSE chat?
This chat is for just for this meeting. particular.
Oh.
So a whole Teams channel is created for this meeting.
I see, okay.
So you should be able to find that somewhere. I feel like. Accept it. And then. Clear your calendar now. Let's see. I'm sure.
Like a Microsoft suite would be so great and easy to use.
Nothing.
Otherwise, maybe MSOE. That's the domain. Yeah, it was. It's very scary.
Sabrina.
Yeah.
You, okay, you talk and see if she can hear you. Now you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, just share my screen.
Yeah, so he's gonna share the screen with you.
Okay.
He's
Like on
got,
the call?
Yeah. So he's got to push to master, but Gatsby isn't building and showing it.
Okay. I wonder if that's because, so I also just did the blog, and for some reason, if you want to open Gatsby Cloud, okay, yeah, so if you scroll down to pull request there, you can see in the little subtext, it says open a pull request against the main branch. For some reason, that repo seems to have come with both a main branch and a master branch.
Oh.
So in this, you can, on Gatsby Cloud here, you can go to site settings there at the top of your screen. And then in this top chunk here, you can see production branch shows main. You can edit that on the right side. And then select master instead. That is the default branch here. I just ran into that as well. And I was like, what the heck? So now I think you might need to make an additional commit on that pull request in order to get Gatsby Cloud to recognize it. But then hopefully that will resolve it. I actually haven't tried now making an additional commit.
So I need to make a new pull request?
No, you can, I think you can keep the same pull request you're in, because that pull request is just looking at the branch that you made. So if you're still, it looks like you're on master again, you'll want to check out your first change branch again. So you can do that by doing git checkout first change, and you don't need to do -b or anything this time, or quotes. And now in VS Code, make another change, just anything, like change maybe the name that you see there or something.
Oh, these are not, I changed all this. So.
Okay, then save it and. Okay, yeah, so then you can do git, you'll have to do git add, so you have to add the changes that you made. So you can do add period and then git commit -m, whatever message, yeah. And now you can just do git push. So now if you go to GitHub, so speedy. So now GitHub on that pull request should show an additional commit. But so what happened? Did you say you already had a pull request?
Yeah, I thought I merged it to the master.
Oh yeah, you can see it says it's closed. You can see it says 0 open, 1 closed in kind of the middle of your screen there. So yeah, so you already merged that. So now like those changes, whatever, will be on production whenever that build finishes. So now that you made those other changes, you could create a new pull request. Yeah, see there, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But so now that Gatsby Cloud knows to look at master branch, now when you create a pull request, it ought to show a preview there. So you can go to GitHub again and create a new pull request for that second commit you did. And you should, and then you'll be able to make changes to that pull request again. Okay, then in the top left, make sure, no, don't create the pull request yet. That's, yeah, setting the wrong destination.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so now you'll create pull request. And then create again. Okay. I noticed it said something about can't automatically merge. It's saying that you conflicts there. Honestly, you could try clicking resolve conflicts right there. Now GitHub has like a web editor that's pretty fine. So have you, is this like syntax that you're seeing there familiar to you, or is this new?
This is new, yeah. I can't
Okay.
what it's saying, but
Yeah. So basically all you're gonna do is like pick which one of those you want and then get rid of the arrows and the equal signs. Yeah. So now that should be all good. When you resolve those changes locally, okay, wait, before you merge it. Now you can go to Gatsby Cloud and you should see a deploy preview under those PRs when you scroll down. Yeah, so it's gonna build it. Looks like it hasn't built it yet, but then you'll get a link on the right hand side of that box, and it'll say view build or visit build or something. And
okay, yeah, it's building now.
Okay, cool. So does that answer your like questions and concerns? Am I not showing my video anymore?
No, when somebody else shares, it switches, closes yours.
Huh. Well.
Oh yeah, I don't know why.
I'm
Oh,
back.
your video. I don't know why that
When you use
happens.
the web client, you can either share your screen or use video.
Oh.
Oh,
This
using
was
the web
fantastic
client.
for like Linux when they just embedded everything, and this was an issue they had for like 6 months.
Dang. Okay, well, I'm going to run through the last few slides here in the slideshow. This last one here is if you chose that portfolio there. So I mentioned way earlier in the workshop that this particular repository has UI dependencies. And so you can kind of see it here. This relies on another entire repository that this Leco Arts person made that is like a Gatsby theme. And the long and short of this is that like it makes it easy to reuse the kind of UI that is already in place here, but it makes it a little more difficult to make any bigger changes. So one of the limitations here is that you only are really able to change these 4 files here. But as you can see in the preview, it just stacks those and they're all just markdown files. So it just puts them like one after the other. And so even though this says about and like this says, hi, I'm Leco Arts, you're able to change what those headers are. So like I just made it say, hi, I'm Sabrina Stangler, and I could make this say whatever I want. Like in the about section, I could say, I don't care about this saying about anymore. I'm gonna actually make this my resume. And so you do have flexibility even with these, just these 4 files here. But it isn't like you're not going to be able to just make a 5th markdown file in this. And that's because of the way it uses this other UI library. And so I won't get into it too much because I honestly don't totally understand it because it's making use of shadowing. And so Gatsby has documentation and there's information in the README for that project to say like, here is how to override some of these files, but it's just a whole nother can of worms is what I'm trying to say. So if you want to use this portfolio template, you totally can, and you can just update these 4 markdown files. And that's about it. So, and again, with the URL, we were able to like, now as I was going through it, I saw that you can change the site name. And so you can get a pretty decent looking site name, but if you want to put this website on your like resume or something, you could use a bit.ly. They also let you do custom domains. I didn't try doing that. But yeah, that's kind of it. here are some suggestions I wrote for what to do next. You could try making another starter template. I think Nick said something earlier about only being able to do one site in the free plan. As you saw, I have like 4 in there now, and I don't have any issues besides that some of them are broken, but I think that you could just spin up a handful of these, and I think you're just still limited by those 500 builds. Yeah, so here's some suggestions, and then I added some troubleshooting tips. So if you're having issues, I mean, I think we've all been through all these at this point, but that's kind of it. I'll let you guys go crazy. So thanks. I hope this was useful. In the future, we also do hack and tells for our company, where we basically just get developers into a room and say, hey, like let's just all spend time building something, and then at the end everybody shares out. So those are pretty fun, so you can look forward to those from us in the future. We were thinking about running some more of these workshops, so I have a feedback survey that I'm going to share that I would love